Huge spike in negative reviews on Steam for Space Marine 2. Alright, that could be a bit excessive, but let's kind of break down the community response to this patch a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I think y'all are overreacting about the patch. Might be anecdotal, I'll eat my down dutes or whatever if nobody else relates. Too long didn't read, Ruthless feels almost exactly the same. Lethal is a hard mode and thus is hard. Nobody's forcing you to play it. Nothing in the update ruined the game. Okay, fair enough. I saw the Storm of Fury on this sub after the patch drop. Played a Ruthless mission to warm up. I didn't even play Ruthless. I did a Substantial, and I thought Substantial was pretty hard, but I was annoyed by the lack of resources, basically. I just wanted, like, more grenades. I did waste my Melta in that video, but, like, at the same time, it's, you know, I would rather 3 frags, basically. Game barely felt any different. I noticed the reduced armor, but it didn't feel bad. I honestly thought we were a little too tanky before the patch, since restoring armor was as simple as a few parries. I mean, I never felt like I was too tanky, but like when I play Bulwark, I do. It really depends. I don't know. That's a fair enough point, but again, he's playing on harder difficulties than I am, at least for PvE. See, PvP players, we're having a good time. Which is really weird. But you know what, honestly, the devs did respond to the feedback they're getting here. And I really hope they actually, you know, they take a look at some shock grenades for PvP, you know, something. Like, it just needs a tiny nerf. It's not even, like, too crazy. It needs to do the I understand why it needs to exist. It needs to deal damage to bulwarks and stuff, but, you know, keep that aspect of it. It just, you know, nerf the obnoxious stuff about it. People seem to be talking as if Ruthless became incredibly more difficult post-patch. So I don't know about incredibly more difficult. But look, if you're gonna add like double the mobs, give us like just a little bit more grenades, man. You know, something like that. But I don't see it. I feel like the 20% reduction in armor just makes me take a bit more chip damage than anything. I don't know. That's a take. 20% of reduction in armor isn't nothing to just be like, oh, it's only chip damage. That's a fair enough nerf. Fencing weapons feel the exact same to me. Maybe a little less forgiving if spam pressing in a panic situation. I only noticed the reduced frames when slamming the parry button in a crowd of gaunts. What? I don't know much about fencing weapons. Lethal, on the other hand, is very hard. I could still clear it without a max party just fine. It's far from impossible, but it's definitely a challenge mode that can feel downright unfair at times. Oh, I hope they mention who they're playing, because it does seem like certain classes got hit harder by the nerfs, you know? Like Assault in PvE on Lethal, if you're just jumping in the air and, like, you know, it's gonna be really hard to get your armor back if you're out doing Assault things. Is this a bad thing? Probably in the long term, but it's not like this is the difficulty everyone is expected to play on. The rewards are just cosmetics that boil down to bragging rights, just like the hard modes in older school games back in the day, which is fine. I don't know. Again, I just think the nerfs could be a little one-sided a bit. Like poor Assaults, man, poor Assaults. But yeah, it should be hard. I don't know. I just don't think I don't think the hard aspects of the lethal difficulty need to, you know, reduced armor at all. Just add in some more mobs or something. That's what they did. It felt like they doubled down on something, you know, making it harder. Lethal is painful because it's supposed to be painful, which is fair. Yeah, that's also a fair point. I had fun coordinating with my team of underleveled goobers to stick together and keep our armor up. Yeah, that's also kind of a task, but okay. I can imagine not having fun with randoms, and do sympathize with those not playing with friends. I really don't see how this patch has ruined the game. I beat the newest operation on Substantial. I'll likely do the higher difficulties once I get my Bulwark higher level, of course. I wouldn't say ruined the game. I do think that's a bit of an overreaction. I mean, even giving it a negative vote is a little kind of crazy. A negative review on Steam just because of a patch is like wild. But at the same time, I can understand. I can definitely see where it's like, yeah, Assaults kind of got boned in this patch for PvE for like absolutely no reason. So it's definitely, there's definitely some warranted criticism, I think. And then, yeah, the lack of, you know, I mean, it's fine nerfing the Power Fist. I thought the PvP changes were fine. Like, they were good. I just expected one more change. The only thing PvP players are actually asking for is just to tone down the shock grenades a little bit, because there's practically no reason to run any other grenade at the moment, unless you're an assault and you can jump and do the Melta thing. But again, I hate Meltas. Let's be constructive in our feedback and not review bomb the game for the hard mode being hard. Yeah, that's fine. This is a fair post. I want to see the reactions to it, even though there's some things in here I disagree with. But at the most part, this is a fair post. Definitely gonna read the reactions. But first, I want to see the dev response. Message from the devs regarding the update. Dear Space Marines, we closely read your feedback regarding the latest patch for Space Marine 2, and we're actively working on another one, including balancing fixes. It should release next week. Cool. Well, we're expecting a patch next week. Interesting. Again, thank you for your support for the Emperor. And it seems like there's a lot of support here, which is nice. I mean, that was a really quick response, to be honest. This was posted like 20 minutes ago or something. So in the middle of me kind of reacting to the feedback of the patch, I legit ran into a dev response, which is funny. Also, shout out to this one smiley face here. I get a kick out of that. The problem is they really didn't seem to have play tested it. The new map and mission are great, and I appreciate the time and effort they spent. The AI spawn variety, extremist enemies, new difficulty setting. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually like the increase in mobs. Again, I just feel like we just needed more resources to deal with them. But it's fun, yeah. Then some of the changes are more like WTF. Yeah, that's fair enough. But look, I mean, we're getting a patch next week. But yeah, nah, that's fair. It's really encouraging to see that they're this receptive. I hope they don't I hope they don't change the enemy distribution on lethal too much. Getting jumped by 2 to 3 lictors at once was terrifying. Holy cow, what? That is, yeah, that's insane. That does sound fun though. I imagine the tether is their main focus and maybe ammo. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. The coherency restrictions, the weird melt-a-bomb nerf, and no buffs to bolters were a bridge too far. All the other changes were fine. Okay, so here's the thing about buff and bolters, right? If they buff any of the bolters, like heavy bolter or whatever, they're gonna be absolutely insane in PvP. And judging how they buff the Power Fist, I'm not too sure they're able to like separate that fact, so I don't know. Definitely comment to see if you have a take on that, on buffing bolters. But dude, if the heavy bolter gets a buff, that's insane. Like, I'd be, oh my god, I'd be going off with that thing. To be honest, the new map is easily the hardest Tyranid map, so slight increase in difficulty for existing levels plus new harder map is gonna throw some people off. Yeah, nah, that's a fair point. I'm not looking forward to doing that last segment of the new map on lethal. Yeah, no, that last segment is insane. I definitely want to try it one day, but I want to make sure I level up my bulwark first, or maybe even my tactical. But tactical is like always picked. Like bulwark is kind of like a grindy class to play in those higher difficulties, but I really like the counter. You know, like doing the counters and the gun strikes and stuff. So ultimately, I'm not too worried about it. But at the same time, I want to make sure I'm prepared for it. I'm on the fence saying tight formation is too tight, too restrictive. Look at this screen cap. Okay. So, yeah, they're... I would consider this pretty close, honestly. This is not too far away. I don't know if there's like an icon who can tell me which one. Let's go back to see if the guy mentions it. Notice the 2 Marines in front of the blue Vanguard, and notice his tight formation bar on the red. He can't regen armor from executions and gun strikes at this range. Again, I'm not saying the formation is too tight. Looking at this image, am I overreacting? Notice the 2 Marines in front of the blue Vanguard, and notice his tight formation bar on the red. Oh yeah, look at that. The armor's red. Oh, this guy's too far away. That's crazy. Nah, this is a that's also ugly looking. I don't want to be that guy, but I don't like the way it meshes with the health bar. But yeah, normally if you get hit, if your armor gets hit, it just looks clear, I'm pretty sure. If that's crazy. That's not good. I don't know about, okay. So do you need to negatively review the game because this happens in one mode now? Is this a bad change? Yeah, but you don't need to negatively review the game. You don't need to review bomb the game because of one change that is pretty bad on one difficulty, you know? That's easily revertible. Or at least, you know, maybe nerfed or something. Give us, you know what? Keep it and then just add more heals. You know what I mean? Like, you could easily work, make this work, but it's also like, yeah, nah, that's kind of crazy. That's I would say take it out, but if you leave it, add more heals. I simply disagree with the lethal difficulty denying armor when out of range of teammates for 3 main reasons. It contradicts the basic mechanics game design. In the tutorial, they teach how the gun strike and perfect parry to get armor, and the combat flow rewarded successful aggressiveness. Yeah, fair point. Not really. I mean, that's true. It's kind of like a center like mechanic. It goes against class design, range-centric classes, sniper heavy, and melee heavy classes, bulwark, assault, vanguard, promote keeping their distance from one another. Whoa, wait. I don't know. I'll tell you what. As a heavy player and bulwark player, I want to play with my team for the most part. Sniper, I'm not too worried about it. Assault and vanguard, yeah, assault and vanguards just do whatever they want. But also as a bulwark, I'm trying to stay with my team. Promote keeping their distance from one another and tackling the relevant threats. Sniper pops extremists and preps execute while melee stops reinforcements and culls the horde. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sniper and vanguard should be able to, like, you know, focus the target pretty well. And assault. And yeah, in order to focus the target, they might be out of the range of the armor. Yeah, the armor regen. Many encounters are not balanced around this mechanic. Helldrake being a notable example. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Also, I love the Helldrake. Very, very cool. You don't get armor back when you're the last brother standing. Oh my god, that's a good point. Dude, oh my god, lethal sounds absolutely insane. I had to try it out, dude. I gotta play some PVE. With all that aside, I'm loving the increase in extremist enemies, and the reduced armor is not a huge deal. Okay, another person saying the reduced armor is not a big deal. I do hope they reduced block weapons and bolters to be more fun, but everything is usable at higher difficulties once relic tiers are acquired. Okay, nah, fair enough. Either way, the devs are definitely getting some good feedback here, I'll tell you that. It's very, very cool that they responded so quickly. But everything this person outlined here is really good points. I would have a hard time refuting. Again, like, if they keep the armor mechanic the way it is, add some more heals or add some more grenades or something. But I'll tell you what, I want to go back and play the new operation, like, right now. Like, this game is still very, very fun. But yeah, these are good points.